Hello everybody, welcome back to The Hobby Musician. I'm really excited today because this is the grand finale, the big reveal of the most ambitious building project that we have undertaken here at the channel so far. Now don't worry, if this is your first time with us, you can click the link at the top right now, and that is a playlist that I've put together with every single episode, every phase of this project, all in order for you to get caught up on. But the focus of today is, what are these things? What did they turn out to be? How do they look? How do they sound? So I've got three phases of this video. First and foremost, we're going to reveal them. I put together some clips so that you can kind of see them in all their glory. The second phase is I want to come back and I want to share some insights. There were a lot of things that I learned during this process and a lot of mistakes that I made. So hopefully something in there might help you as you're working on your projects. And then finally, of course, we want to see how these things sound. So I prepared some playing demos to finish out the video. Now, without further ado, here is an overly dramatic video reveal of our basses. Well, there you have it. I know it's silly, but I had fun putting that together, get a little flair for the dramatic. Well, like I said, I wanted to take a little bit of time just to share with you some of the insights and the things that I kind of learned over the whole course of this project. We said at the very top, this was an opportunity for me to try my hand at some new skills. I have never done something like this before. And believe me, I do not consider myself an expert now by any means, but I know a lot more. And even as I was just halfway through this project, the wheels were already spinning for what could I do next, or what could I do now that I know how to do this part or that part of a building project. Well, just as a quick recap, you can see how these things turned out. We said, we just used salvaged wood. That was one of the goals of this thing. I wanted to use lumber that people were just throwing away, so we started the whole thing with shipping pallets. You can see that very clearly on the backs of these instruments. I used kind of those thicker bracing parts of the shipping pallets, cut them into strips, and then laminated them together to make the body blanks. But then the cosmetic finish were the thinner top parts of the shipping pallets that we really carefully cut down into little 1-inch strips and made these little subway tile patterns. Did the same thing to make the neck, so we still use those long shipping pallets to laminate a neck. Did all the fretwork ourselves, drilled in the little holes, put the markers, not to mention 3D printing and winding our own pickups. So at the end of this, kind of each phase of the build taught me something, and I was able to take away a new skill that I can hopefully apply to future building projects that we'll share here on the channel. Now, it didn't all go perfectly, so I want to talk a little bit about some of the things that went wrong. We mentioned a few things here and there in the specific episodes where we're doing it, but I didn't spend too much time on all the mistakes that I made, just because there wouldn't be enough time. The videos would be hours. One of the things that I did learn was just how to better manage or handle making a mistake. For example, over here on this 4-string, looks beautiful. I'm very happy with how it turned out visually, cosmetically, all of that stuff. However, I'll just be honest with you, I'm not happy with how it plays. I did everything that I could, along the way. I tried to make sure that the fret spacings were right. I tried to double and triple check my measurements for the scale length where I put the bridge and everything. But I went through rounds of tweaking. I put it together. I couldn't get the intonation to work. And then I made some changes. I took the bridge off. I put it in a different place. I tried to adjust things, and I just could not get it to work. So for me, this 4-string is, I'm really proud of it. I'm proud of the way it looks, but it is really not playable, at least to my standards. Neither of these are going to be found in a custom shop. You're not going to pay thousands of dollars for these things, but even just a mediocre bass, this one really doesn't stay in tune any more than just open strings. I can tune the open strings, but as soon as I start playing on any of the frets, it really just doesn't work. And it took me a while. It took me a while to be okay with that. I had to keep reminding myself, this is the first thing that I've ever made. This is the first instrument that I've ever made. Now, I did make 2 of them at the same time, and I am proud to say that this 5-string plays very well. I'm very happy with it. The playability, the action that I was able to get on it, the intonation, it stays in tune up and down the neck. So that's part of why my brain was having a hard time. Why did this one work and that one didn't? But all of that just to say, it was an opportunity for me to explore, to try things, to learn. And I really will take that away from this project. Now, some of the other things that kind of went wrong when I was making my pickups, so we do a lot of that on this channel. We 3D print and custom wind our own pickups. But just going in specifically on this 4-string, when I wound them up, I tried to put the coils into these rectangular housings, and I didn't know it at the time, but as I was sliding them in, the edges of the wind were too wide, and they actually caught on the edges of this. So I was trying to push it in, and it was mashing and breaking up all of the copper wires. So I pushed it all in there, wired it up, no signal. Pulled it out, saw all the cuts. So little things like that. I had to redo some of those things. Even on the 5-string over here, one of the things, and actually I can see it right here, when I got to the point I had cut out all the cavities and I was putting things in and trying to run wires through all of the different places, I was using these long drill bits and trying to get a hole from this cavity into this cavity and over. And I had the angle wrong. So I was drilling careful, and I felt the thing go through and I thought, great. I turned it over and I drilled right out the back of the guitar. So some sawdust, some super glue, and just blending in with all the other knots and nicks and all that kind of stuff, and nobody else will ever know. So little things like that kind of throughout the building process were things that I learned and picked up along the way. But it was such a good experience overall. At the end, I highly recommend it. You saw, if you have watched any of the videos or if you checked out that playlist at the beginning of this video, you know that we don't have a shop. We have regular tools that you could pick up at like a Home Depot, or you might already have. We used shipping pallet wood, and we just bought parts off of Amazon, and we have all the links to everything that we used. So this is something that really is accessible and attainable for anybody. You watch a couple tutorials, you watch our videos, and you can give this a shot yourself. So if you want us to see, to do other building projects, more adventurous, crazy custom builds, let us know. Go down in the comments and kind of give us some ideas. What should we try next? Like I said, I've really got the bug for this now, so I'm definitely going to do more projects, and I want to know what you want to see us build so we can make that happen. Well, the last phase of this video is, of course, we want to see how this sounds. So I'll be playing, as I said before, I'll be playing the 5-string, but I've prepared a couple demonstrations that will show the versatility of how this bass sounds. Some more like regular kind of standard bass line stuff. And then I've got the second one is kind of an ambient tapping solo, just to see kind of how luscious this bass can sound. Well, as always, I want to thank you so much for going on this journey with us. Thank you for watching. And until next time, play on, my friends. Play on.